Going into our home improvement segment where we're talking about preparing your home for seasons of the year. You know, we have different seasons. So now we're in the Easter season. There's Christmas and there are lots of other seasons. And you can spruce up your home, you know, to suit those particular seasons by adding just bits and pieces. We're about to have that conversation. You can send in your messages to the WhatsApp number 0204 447-033, 0204-447-033. Alternatively, you can use our social media handles with the hashtag BreakfastDailyWeekend, and we will read those messages here. You can send it to my handle, @Eno_S, or Jude's handle, and Mensa Duncan, and we will read those messages here for you. One of the messages that we've received: happy birthday, Selina Amwako. God richly bless you on your special day and grant you wisdom, joy, and success in the year ahead. May your new age bring you closer to your dreams and fill your heart with love, laughter, and happiness. You can also send in those messages and we'll
there was
read
no
them.
name to the message.
Oh, it's from Theophilus,
Wow.
our technical guy here at Channel 1
Because
TV.
right now, boys, when they send a message, they don't add
their names. This one added his name. So that's from Theophilus. Happy birthday to you, Selina Mwako. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Right. In studio with us is Samira Dedesaraji. She's a real estate consultant and certified marketing strategist. She's here to talk to us about, you know, preparing your home for seasons of the year. Samira, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you doing too?
I'm very well. I heard you went to my region.
Yes.
How was it?
I was there the entire week.
Okay.
From Monday, I came back just
I hope you ate
yesterday.
some fufu.
Oh yes, I did. It was actually for breakfast.
Hey, fufu for breakfast.
Yes, it
Well, I mean,
was.
we do mucho for breakfast, so it's not a surprise. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, yes, I
Soup
did.
a different, my boy.
You did what?
Soup a different.
Yeah. I did the one you mix 6 different kind of soups and then you have different kind of proteins in it as well.
You see the smile on her face. That's what I need to do for Jude, so that Jude can taste, you know, proper fufu. Let me keep quiet before the.
Sarah, it's
Yeah,
always
come for me.
amazing having you. The big conversation today is how to make your home ready for the seasons, right? You know, there are different kinds of seasons people celebrate, right from New Year, which is big for some people, up until New Year's Eve, right? You know, people put in effort in making their spaces, number one, comfortable, number two, functional, and number three, you know, for those higher up, you'd say luxury, you know. So talk to us. What are some of the most important things to look out for when you have to design your space for whatever season or moment you're celebrating?
Very well. Before I even start off, I have something for both of you.
Oh,
I
really?
remember the last time I came here, we talked about how we need to infuse heritage in anything and everything that we do. Here's something pertaining to our cloth. See, we have the African print used to make a very beautiful bag. This is for you, for your laptop.
Wow.
And then this is for for her little
Guys,
grocery
see
shopping
my
and all
little
of that.
lovely gift I got from Samira.
Enjoy.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's handcrafted in Ghana.
Yes.
Wow.
So thoughtful of you.
Oh, thank you so much, Samira.
You're welcome. You could have
This
that.
is lovely.
This is absolutely pretty.
So talking about creating your space to meet various seasons, it cuts across. You don't keep your space boring. There's so many things you can do to your space in various seasons. Aside, happy Easter, by the way. We are in the Easter season. In Christmas, you'll be having all the lights, all the decoration and everything in your homes. The streets are beautiful. Everybody's talking Christmas. You host people in your house. So then you put your space in a manner which looks that. Now, pertaining to Easter seasons right now, it's more of a solemn time. You are more of praying a bit, a holy season. You can definitely twist and turn your lights to be able to feel that. Now, even for the context of conversation today was even probably more about how the various seasons in the year applies to our homes. There are ways that you could keep your rooms from rainy seasons, from Harmattan seasons, from dry seasons, fixing your AC in a manner that it should be in a certain temperature at every point in time. All I'm trying to say is our spaces are ours, and we can define it as much as we want to by just changing and twisting things to make it work. Real estate is an asset that appreciates on daily basis, no matter where you find yourself. So depending on what you do with your inside, depending on what you do with your outside, depending on what you do with the external works, all comes together to make it work. Don't keep it boring. Don't keep it the way it is when you move in.
Wow. You know, I like the way you put it. So beyond the cultural seasons we have, we also have the is it geographic, or let me say just even the seasons, as in like the kind of weather patterns and all of that, right?
Yes.
But you agree with me that some of them are aligned, right? So for example, if you are outside in the States or somewhere, it's winter, it's more Christmas, so you need to plan for that. Talk us through the functionality part of the conversation.
Okay.
Because I know, for example, when it's December all the way into New Year, we deal with the dust.
Right.
In fact, we get the MPA even issue, you know, weather warnings, where they tell us that the quality of the air is at an all-time, you know, high level where you need to protect yourself. They even advise the wearing of nose masks. So for a season like that, right, how are we able to protect our homes, particularly for kids and persons with special needs, you know,
Absolutely.
talking about asthma patients and all of that?
I like this conversation. You mentioned that we wear nose masks sometimes to protect our health. Please nose mask your furniture outside. Nose mask your windows.
How can I put a nose mask on my...
So then cover them up. That's what I'm saying. It's so dry. You're going to mess up your very beautiful, expensive furniture you have outside because it's dry season. Just get a cover. Because really, during that time, you may not necessarily be hosting a lot of people, but then you're exposing that furniture to the weather.
Okay.
So rather, have a cover. So as when you would want to host someone, you could then take it off and keep it in a good space. Now, looking at your windows as well, that's what takes the net, is what takes a lot of dust. So if you have kids at home and you ignore the weather and ignore the windows, you may clean but may not necessarily do deep cleaning. They are going to inhale dirt you really don't even see because it's piled up in the windows. So then there is a way of covering that up as well. So with our modern windows have nets that can be changed at certain times. Unlike the previous ones where you nail it to the wall and then you may have to either take off the wood around it to wash it. Modern windows allow you to slide it in and slide it out and remove it. It makes it easier for you to be able to clean. This helps you maintain it. So then kids home that have special needs are taken care of without necessarily being too attentive because it's a regular routine with you in cleaning your windows. Same with the rainy seasons. You may want to close all the gaps that allow a lot of water or wind come into your house. You have to be careful because then, you have wide windows because in certain seasons, you are looking to have a lot of light coming into your house. In other seasons where it's raining, you may want to have very thick curtains on those windows to block some of this light or extra water or wind or moist coming in. So you have to be deliberate about all of it.
I think with the dust, carpets must also be included. That's aside the windows because carpets also, they take in a lot of dust as well.
There are even carpet options for different seasons, but then it depends on your pocket. Yes, that's how I'm smiling. But it depends
carpet for every season.
It depends on your pocket and what really you like to do with your space.
Okay.
It may come off luxury, but sometimes you are saving costs. Some people like very fluffy carpets.
Like when you step on it, your feet sinks in.
But then during the rainy season, especially if it's at somewhere you host people,
you can't.
Why don't you just change it? So it comes off luxury, but it's efficient, it's functional. It's something that you need to do in your space. And when you buy one time, it lasts you the whole year because then you're just changing your carpets 3 times in the year.
She said three times in a year. So you need 3 different carpets for 3 different seasons. Interesting.
You should just change your tagline to "There's something for everyone." Because
I know, right?
I'll think of it. That's really interesting. So, having talked about from late December up until January, let's come to current trends. Right, we are in April, and if you study a little bit of geography, you know that here in Ghana, April starts the onset of the raining season. Right. If you look at the weather patterns or trends, average temperature from 24 degrees Celsius up to 34, right? You know, you also expect a lot of sudden rainfalls. So while it's 34 degrees is hot, you know, it's hot.
The
Even
clouds are
24,
getting ready.
It's hot.
it's hot. And you agree with me, sometimes if you are driving in a car now and your AC
AC
doesn't
is not
work,
working.
you're in trouble.
It's no more luxury.
It's exactly. Right, but there's also a lot of sudden rainfalls.
Yes.
You know, so how do you manage that, knowing that, okay, it's very hot, but it can also rain? And when you live in the area where it's probably flat, right, how do you manage your home against the what's the word? The suddenness,
sudden rains
you know,
that
the
come.
sudden rains that come. So just put it all together in a nutshell and just tidy up my question and
Sure.
give us some responses.
We must be ready, especially when it's a home, it's an asset, it's somewhere you live, and you know that it's going to happen either ways. The sudden ones that happen, when you are ready for it, you are okay. So something like the rains that could start between now, let's say July, now it even extends a little bit further than that. What you may want to do is first keep your compound in a way that would absorb the water when it falls in. So there are people who have a lot of space on their compound, but they neglect landscaping.
Yeah.
It's okay to have just grass than leaving it to the red soil, because then suddenly when it rains, you're going to move from your gate into your house. If you're unable to invest in grass, you may want to do stumps, or let's say concrete stumps on your walkway, so as then you'll be able to access your space so that you do not soil your interior. So the essence of we doing this outside is to prevent you from bringing the filth out inside. Now with your roofing, which of course suddenly it could start raining, you may, if you don't close the holes, the drainage, all the challenges you have with your room, then suddenly when it starts raining, you may be looking for what a lot of people do in their house, looking for bowls to be taken,
harvesting
the rain in the room,
Yeah.
which is not interesting. So then why not cover that before it gets to the raining season? Yeah.
Okay, I want to move away from, you know, the weather seasons that Jude is talking about, because I also know that people decorate their homes to suit certain seasons. So like Easter, they'll put an Easter egg somewhere, or they'll put an Easter something somewhere. That's also part of decorating. Is that necessary, like, or is it just a modern trend that has caught
No,
on?
it says, come to my house and you see that today.
Please, there's no correlation between celebrating Easter in Ghana and Easter eggs or Easter bunnies.
Easter bunnies.
Please.
Come to my house and you see one. I'll take a picture and send it to you.
I'm not
You
even
don't
surprised,
necessarily have to do
I know,
a
right?
big deal. You could. What I had 2 years ago is what I'm repeating today.
But to be fair, is it culturally even relevant?
I'm enjoying my space. I'm setting my mood right in my space.
Yeah, but
Right.
not with Easter eggs.
I have it. And I can
Oh, it's a
use
choice.
it.
It's a choice
It's
thing.
a choice thing, but it's good to set your mood right in your spaces. When you have it, that's why we talked about the fact that you get the right things and keep it right all season. So the fact that you have it, it's just a dummy Easter egg in a plate, just like the way you have the Christmas tray, you put it on your table. I bought it, I used it for a decor space. I used to decorate somebody's space about a year ago. He or she didn't like it anymore, give it to me. During Easter, I take it out, I put it there nicely. I've changed my space. Christmas, I'll change it. When I feel bored and I feel like this room is so boring, I'll put a candle there.
Do
When I feel
you get people coming to do you get people coming to you say, as a consultant, so I realized the consultant say, I want to change my space, set it up in like, or give an Easter or even a Ramadan tone, Do you get people coming to
Yes,
you?
and a few clients that I've worked with. But of course, yes, I'm open to do that for all
But
people
it
who
sounds
need
like
it.
a rich man's
No,
problem.
it's not. It's not. There's something for everyone. You know,
See,
thank you.
To be fair, if you have to decorate your house, Easter, you know,
Let me-
Christmas, I can make an exception for, right? Because it's
Jude, let me
Because it's
show
just
you
Christmas.
something. I don't know if you are familiar
Year, yes.
with this investment studio spaces. I'm sure you've seen,
I've
a
seen
couple of it.
them.
Do you know it's a single room self-contained?
the ones they call loft.
Loft. It's the typical single room self-contained. The difference of what they are doing there is the curtain is right. The color of the wall is right.
It's not red or
the
black.
The chair is right.
Sometimes to the location.
We are talking of interior. We are talking of interior. Nobody knows where
It
that
can't be
space
a
is.
studio, one apartment in some places.
Don't you agree
No,
that
let's be
a
real.
studio or a loft is
Yeah.
a single room self-contained?
It's a single room
Yeah, but I'm saying that the
self-contained.
location also matters.
How has the location outside
Got to do with the inside?
I get location in real
The
estate.
location matters.
You see,
Absolutely.
If it's in Chado or Lakeside
So
or East
in
Legon
uni,
Hills,
in uni,
Yeah.
if you come to my hostel, it wasn't painted, but when you come inside, so they nicknamed our hostel "Don't Mind the Body,
mind the engine.
Mind the Engine," because the inside was amazing, but the outside, I come and be like, nah.
To build
what
on
is this?
this point,
Yeah.
a single room self-contained, being it in Mala, Medina, Bokobi, Kaneshi, Ade, Akuse, Nungwa, Accra, Cantonment,
Airport.
Laboni Airport remains a single room self-contained.
Wow.
It's what you do to the space is what matters. So we've learned a lot of things, combining a lot of things in your room. Anybody, just imagine, everybody watching or listening, just imagine taking everything out of your single room self-contained. Let's start here.
That's the studio.
Let's start here. I mean, people are home watching. Let's do this practically. Take everything mentally out of your single room self-contained. Let's paint the wall, maybe ivy or a lighter cream color. Let's have a curtains of, let's say, this color, maybe a pink color, a light pink, not a bright pink color, towards the nude texture. Let's have our chairs, maybe a dark brown chair, two-seater chair in there. Let's have our bed to the extreme right or left, painted brown, nothing extra. You have your bed sheets with a plain color. You have your locker to the left. You have everything in the locker closed. Please do not keep it scattered everywhere. You have your carpet laid properly there. You have your stuff moved to the kitchen, arranged nicely. That's a serene space you have there.
Interesting. I know that for some people, they set up their spaces for the season also for spiritual reasons, right? Or let me say religious reasons, right? So for example, it's Ramadan. They have to pray 5 times. They have to fast. You know, seeing some of these things inspire their faith, right? It's sort of like a subtle way of motivation.
Yes.
Is that also a reason for some of these designs we see in spaces?
It's important because when you're buying, currently if you want to buy a house, you may have a 3-bedroom with a study, or a 3-bedroom with an external studio. Now this external studio, people use it for various things pertaining to their lifestyle. If you're a Muslim, you could probably keep it as your prayer room as a Muslim. If you're a Christian, that's your space for prayer as well. Others use it for a study. Others use it for a kids room. Others use it for gaming rooms. A lady may have it as a spa room. It's your lifestyle. You just keep that space for that. So you may have your bedrooms, your guest rooms, and have that space that you've decorated personally for your religious needs. So during Ramadan, for example, if you live in a mixed religious family where you have both Christians and Muslims, you definitely would want to have your space to be praying. If you're a very religious person and you take your prayer time very serious and you have a family that is all vibrant, definitely you may want to have a space where you call your prayer room, where you would go there to pray. Would you want to keep that space as a space that has anything and everything? No. You may want to turn that space to be something that is a bit more personal, that evokes the spirituality and morality in you in that space.
There's a question here for you, very funny one. I'll say, can we garnish it by adding Kosiane Meko to it, an Africa touch?
We're talking about the Easter egg.
Yeah, talking about, adding Easter eggs and decorations. But it could be, could it not? Like when you enter someone's home, maybe instead of maybe greeting you with water, they have Kosiane Meko on the table. You can have some.
Ghanaians love eggs too much. We can't add Easter eggs to our, Ghanaians eat egg. They eat everything with eggs. Can't think about it, right?
It's actually good for our health.
Well, yeah, some that people consume it too much, especially the gym guys, and Anyway, I wanted to ask you a question around the real estate industry, right?
Yes,
you mentioned it.
Yes.
Maybe that'll be difficult to say, but now that we are being told people are using a check in real estate to buy Rolls Royce in Ghana, maybe we should just venture into the real estate, right? Is it particularly on those involved in like the houses, right? I want to frame the question properly. Recently there was a lawsuit around how somebody rented their apartment to somebody. They came back and they had changed it into a nightclub or something. You saw that story,
yes.
right?
Yes.
What was the probably on legal, probably borders slightly on legal lines, right? But what's the length at which you can go to reconfigure a place to suit your personal needs? I don't know if you get my question correctly.
I get it.
Of course, not to the extreme of changing the whole space,
Absolutely.
covering a swimming pool,
Yes.
and changing it into a nightclub.
Yes.
That is extreme.
But he really changed the place.
And
it was actually nicer than when he left it. Yeah.
So there are legal terms, like you rightly said, and in real estate, there's something called contracting. You can't move into a space, even if it's a space you are buying, there needs to be a contract, which we call the sales and purchase agreement.
Okay.
Same with if you are renting a space, definitely you need to have a lease agreement or a renting agreement. It should clearly spell out what you can do to the space. For interior purposes, those things are not fixed onto the wall or into the space permanently. So with that, you can play around with it. But then when it gets to things that are remolding the entire building, no, the contract should tell. You cannot rent a residential space with a clear intention, with a stated intention of using it for residential purposes and turning it into a commercial space. And there are lots of things that come into factor if you want to use a space for commercial purposes. Plumbing works, lighting works. So if it was meant, if it was wired only for a residential purpose, turning it into a commercial purpose would mess up the entire wiring.
But just because you are discussing seasons,
sure, let's
right?
go ahead.
It's Christmas. There's no tree there, but you've been able to put up one of those trees that look like the Christmas. Now you decorate it with lightning and all of that.
It's allowed because you can move it.
You can move it.
It's not permanent. You can move it and it will not cause any damage to the building. As long as it does not cause any damage to the building.
What if the damage is repairable?
What he did, the damage is repairable, but it's going to cost them a fortune.
Yeah. Maybe one day we should have a full conversation
Sure.
on that particular episode.
Sure.
The laws around real estate, what you can do and what you cannot do.
If it's not your space, what you cannot do
is a lot.
It's not
I know there are some landlords who say you can't, hammer into my walls, or you can't. So it all boils down to dealing with
exactly like Emma is saying. You can't hammer into the wall, but if I want to fix my Ramadan,
so tell me,
inscriptions, my Merry Christmas on the wall.
So you have to find an alternative
coating it
crucifixion to remember the death of Christ.
I like how you are being present in somebody's space that is not yours. There must be a limit to what you can do in a space that is not yours. Nevertheless, even if you want to go extreme, one, communicate to the owner of the space. Two, use alternative ways of doing that. Right. There are so many ways of hanging anything and everything in a space. There could always be a different layer behind the wall and the piece of decor you are trying to do. Without experience and knowledge, that's when you take a hammer and then hit it on the wall. But when you consult us or your people around you, they'll let you know the difference or what to do to still enjoy that.
Samira, I've enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much. If you plan on adding Kosiane Meko to your space, that's entirely up to you.
and she can do that for you. That and more.
Contact Samira on social media and on LinkedIn. You'll find her there. Samira Dede Saraji. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
We're
me,
going to take a quick break.